1,500 ridership per month on our buses, 1,800 with our trams, and we're up to 1,400 a month on our train line. We are chugging along in the public transport department. That is absolutely awesome and an absolutely incredible expansion of our industrial area. We're chugging along, guys. We are absolutely chugging. Also, dude, look at this guy. We're in the middle of a snowstorm right now, and this guy is just literally hanging out, just chilling, dude. Oh my God, man, what a dream. But guys, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Today's gonna be a fun one because we are going to be finally building out some public transport. We do have our train lines here, which is pretty cool. So we have a little bit of public transport, but we're going to be expanding it quite a bit. We're going to be adding buses, streetcars, and taxis. We don't even have taxis. That is crazy how little public transport we have. We literally have trains, and now the trains do, we have taxis. I don't think we have taxis. We literally don't have I think this is from other cities, people coming in, because we have not placed a taxi depot down. We have a post office, a road maintenance depot, recycling center. Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna be placing down all that good, fun stuff today. The first thing that we're going to do though, is we're going to rename Hamilton. There's a car accident over here. Oh no, it was a taxi. Origin, Galesburg. Yeah, so Galesburg is probably outside. That sucks, dude. Anyway, we're gonna be renaming Hamilton. Got a pretty good name, pretty funny name from Jive, commenter. He suggested Towny McTownface. I think that's hilarious. If only there was, maybe we'll name our seaport. Maybe we'll name a boat later too. Because I mean, if we have Towny McTownface, then we need Boaty McBoatface. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. That is pretty much all we're gonna do over here. Earlier, before I started recording, there was a little bit of a traffic jam over here. So I think that might happen during rush hour, which is weird. So if we see it getting busy over here, we're gonna increase our capacity. There was some people that were turning and it wasn't too good. Honestly, what we might end up doing, now that I think about it, is just upgrading this to be an asymmetric road. I think that probably solve a lot of our problems. Yeah, we're just gonna add just right here as an asymmetric road. I think that should help solve the problem that we were seeing before. We're not seeing it right now because I let it run to see if it would solve itself. So I think that this will be more than enough. All right, let's do it. I thought this was in the water. We are going to be adding some public transport. Now I'm super excited because this is not usually what I do. If you've seen any of my other series, then you know I love cars and I love making traffic. I actually don't love making traffic, but traffic loves making me. So we're gonna go off a little bit on the beaten path here, and we are going to be trying to solve the traffic issue before it happens. Not that we have a crazy traffic issue over here. There's a little bit of a hot zone right here, but it's not as high as it could be. So I think that we should try to get it a little bit higher. Yeah, this is the worst part right down here, which makes a little bit of sense. So that's what we're gonna be working on today. The first thing that I want to do is we're making good money right now. We're plus 30 grand a month, loving it. Our taxes they say they're high. They're at 13%. Like, it's really not too bad. What I think I'm going to do is I'm gonna leave them for now. And then this is the plan, okay? I'm getting all sidewind. We have unreliable healthcare coverage in our town. So if we come over to our healthcare and death care, we can see that this area is served, but pretty much like everywhere over here is not. We do have service over in Towny McTownface, but not in our main city, which by the way, we also need a name for, so, you know. So if we look like our hospital, if we were to put in a hospital, it costs almost $800,000, which is insane. That's wild. That is too much because this costs 105. So what I think that we should do is now I think that we can add in another ambulance depot, or actually no, we can add in our extension wing, and this will just add the patient capacity 25. So right now our patient capacity is 100. We add this guy in, and this will be an added upkeep of $63,000 a month, which is why I was talking about possibly adding more industry tax, but we'll get there later down the road. So we're gonna put this in, and so we just added a little bit more. Now we're a little bit more in the green. It looked like we were a little bit yellow, and now I'm hoping it didn't really do much, but our capacity went up. We only have 72 sick or injured. We have quite a high capacity. I think this medical clinic is probably I mean, it's chugging along. There is an option to add another one of these. I don't think we need to do that, especially because we're going to take out this building and that would kind of suck. Could add an ambulance as well, although we only have one being used right now out of 5. So this comes with 5 extra, 7,000 a month. Honestly, that's not too bad either. Let's put it down. So now we have 10 vehicles. We only are using 1 just in case, right? Because the city's growing a little bit. The city is growing a little bit. I don't think that really helped our coverage for whatever reason, but we're not bleeding money, which is like the important thing here. The balancing the budget in this game is actually difficult, which is really cool. I like that part of the game, but yeah, we're gonna leave it like this. Hopefully unreliable healthcare coverage goes away, but I guess we shall see. What I do want to do now before we start adding our public transport, we are going to just draw out a little district over here. So we have this Townie McTown face, and then we're gonna draw out just where our residents are living in here, and then maybe we'll do like an industrial area here, and then we'll do whatever we're doing over here as well. But I just want to draw this out really quickly. All right, so we have our main downtown area. Then I'm gonna make one over here as well. And it's gonna encompass all of these areas. So we're gonna come over here. Cool, so we have our industrial district over here, and then I'm gonna leave this one over here because we're gonna be playing around with this area. I'm gonna name them super fast. This one is not gonna be Springbrook. We're just gonna call this the industrial area. And then this is going to be, I'm gonna call this downtown for now, but if you have a good name, let me know, because technically this is like downtown. This is a pretty small city, to be honest with you. But anyway, now we can get into the business. The first thing that we are going to do is I'm going to de-zone all of this industry. I don't really want industry over here. This was a temporary industrial zone when we first started the game. I like the industry here. We can even extend this a little bit farther along. I think that could work out just fine. We can even have a cargo hub over here as well. Well, that is for a later date. I also want to possibly extend it over here too. Yeah, for now, this is gonna be okay. But I wanted to get this industry out because this was never meant to be permanent. Perfect. Awesome. So then we can start with our transportation. The first thing that we need to do is we need to add a taxi depot. So I'm going to put a taxi depot. It's going to be over here because this is going to be like our old industrial area. And maybe that's what we name the district because that sounds kind of fun. So we're going to put our taxi depot right about here. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to upgrade this to have a dispatch center. I don't see the point in having a taxi depot and then having taxi stands all around your city. It just makes a lot more sense to me to just like have the taxi depot. Maybe when taxis first came out, I don't know. I've never seen just a taxi stand where you're supposed to just like go and then wait for a taxi. Maybe that existed at some point in the past. It probably did, but I don't see why we would need that here, you know? So that's why we why we upgraded it straight away to the dispatch center. The garage extension and then the electric taxis, I don't really think those are things that we necessarily need, so we're not gonna put those in yet. I'm gonna keep an eye on our money. We're still up, not very much, but we are still up a little bit. We will probably be down by the end of the day, but that's okay. What was that little heart? What's that heart? It disappeared. Was that just like a happiness heart? Because that's really cool. I like that. I'm gonna pretend it's a happiness heart. My citizens love me. I am their god. Okay, so we're gonna start with a bus depot and then we're gonna make our way over to Tram. I'm gonna go and we're gonna unlock Tram right away. We're not gonna go with subway just because we don't really need it in a town this big. We'd have a very small subway line. Maybe when we start to expand up in here, then we'll have a subway line that kind of runs along this main street. But for now, I think a subway line might be kind of silly. We will, however, have a tram line. And I think the tram line is gonna come down this main street. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our tram line go on the outside of this main street. And the reason for that is this main street is going to be, this is like a very busy street. And I think I don't want to congest it with a bunch of tram tracks. So we are going to have a full loop that goes all the way around it. Perfect, just like that. And that is going to be where our tram line lives. Our bus stop, so we have our tram line that will come around this direction, and then I want our buses to go kind of the opposite way. So I think they're gonna follow Elm Street, they're gonna come all the way around, come all the way down, they'll turn on Victoria Street, and then they'll come back on Elm Street. And it will just be like a continuous loop for our buses to do that. But in order to drop down any of our stations for either one of these, we need to drop the depots down. So let's look at how big our tram depot is. It is quite large. It is not going to fit in either of these. We could put it like here, I guess, but I would rather, honestly, I would rather change around these streets a little bit. I don't love the way that they are right now, and I think that it would be nice to just kind of clean them up a bit. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take out this road right here, and we're going to come into our 2-lane road, and I'm going to see. So this is about 144 meters. I want this to be a straight 90-degree upwards. We're gonna move everything around. So the recycling center, we're gonna put it here for now. I know this is not the most realistic thing in the entire world. And we're gonna bring this road up here, and then we're gonna take out just right here, and we're gonna bring this up to about here. And then we're gonna take this recycling center and we're gonna bring it back. Again, maybe not the height of realism, but that is okay. Perfect. So we're going to put that right about here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now we're going to take this road, snap to the sides of buildings, and we're going to bring this out to about here roughly. And then honestly, we might even, I mean, this is going to be, how big is this on the side? 160. Okay, yeah, so I think we're gonna bring this up over here to about there, and we'll go out again. Now, I'm going to delete this segment. We do have our internet here, that's fine. And we're gonna send this over to here, perfect. We're going to pause the game because we're gonna end up deleting this road. We're gonna move our transformer station. Actually, we'll delete this, and then we'll move our transformer station. We're gonna put it, actually, we're gonna put it right here. Come in here, and then we'll connect these up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now everything should be connected. We'll also move our radio mast right over here. Perfect. And then we're gonna clean up these streets a bit. I'm gonna start right here. Perfect. And honestly, let's delete these as well. And then we're gonna have this road come straight over. We're gonna delete this road as well. Perfect. We're gonna move this on this road for now. And we'll bring this straight over here. And then I'm gonna de-zone these just for now. And so this is our post office. Okay, cool. So let's actually change this to be on this side. Cool, cool, cool. And then I wanna take this road and we're gonna send this straight and link up. Cool, cool, cool. Because maybe, you know, and maybe this is like a bit too much. Maybe it's a bit of OCD that's kind of kicking in right now. It was just weird and wonky before. And I mean, I guess that's where character comes from in these in this game. But it was just like in this old area, it was kind of bothering me. All right, so we have our post office here. We have our taxi depot here. We need to put our road maintenance depot back kind of where it belongs. So right over here. Then I'm going to take this road and we are going to kind of hug the river line over here, and we're going to come up right about up here. And then we're just going to finish some of these areas. Cool, cool, cool. So now if we come into our public transport and we look, oh, we are just missing the amount of space. That's fine. We can put it up here. It's not the worst thing in the world. This castle ruins, though, is kind of in our way. So I'm going to move it over a bit. We're gonna put it like here for now. I don't want to delete it. I just don't want it, you know? And then we're gonna put our tram depot right here. And we also have to place our bus depot, so we might as well place that down now. And it does look like we are kind of getting in the way of everything. So let's see, will this fit? Not really. Yeah, so let's put our bus depot down. I'm gonna put it down right here. So our bus depot and our tram depot are right beside each other, which makes sense in my opinion. and then we'll come back in this road. And we'll connect this back up just like that. Perfect. Looking really, really nice. Looking really, really nice over here. And then what I want to do is I want to fill in some of these areas with just a little bit of low density office because I think that would look kind of cool over here. So now we can press play and things should be working. It is perfect. Also, while I'm looking at this, I'm kind of all over the place right now and I do apologize. But I'm looking at this radio mast and I want to see how is our coverage. It's not great. So really quickly, this one's fine, but I'm going to come over here and we're gonna upgrade these. So I'm gonna turn on the bandwidth increase and we're gonna do the same thing over here. And now let's look at how this is looking. This looks much, much, much better now. Perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool, cool, cool. So now we need to bring our tram line over to our downtown area. Back into our transportation. Let's go into our tram, our double tram track, and let's go upgrade these roads down here. And we'll upgrade this and then we'll bring our tram right across and now it feeds into our downtown. And our bus, obviously buses can go on all roads, so we don't need to worry about that. So let's place our tram stops down. What I want to do here is I want to place tram stops down where I think that they should be. So for example, we have our medical clinic right here. I think that we should have tram stops by our medical clinic. So I'm going to put 2 down right beside each other. These are on opposite sides of the road. Or actually, what am I thinking? We should have tram stops on one on this side and then one on this side. That makes more sense. So we have 1 by this medical clinic, or we have 2 by this medical clinic, but 1 going, I guess, clockwise and then 1 coming counterclockwise. Then I want some over here as well. So we're gonna have, just because this is by our high school. So we're gonna have 1 right here, and then I'm gonna have 1 on the other side of the road. On the other side, just like that. Perfect. And now we need to just litter a few more around. We should probably have 1 by our elementary school. Perfect. And the idea is that these stop before the intersection, by the way, in case you're like, why are you putting them there? So now we'll come down, we'll put 1 right over here. Cool, cool, cool. So we have 6 running right now, and now we can build our lines. So let's do that. So we have our first line done. Perfect. And our second line done. So these should now be coming out. Perfect. Look at these bad boys go. And I want to see, this is, there's only 2 for this route. That seems odd. 2 tram, there should be 3. There's the 3rd. Okay. Yeah. And we'll monitor these as well to see like what our ticket prices should be, what all these different things should be. So now let's look at our buses. I said that I wanted it to come around here. So just like our trams, I think we should put stops on like areas that we want to hit, if that makes sense. So for example, we should have a stop by this elementary school. So we're going to put 1 right here, and I'm going to put 1 on the other side as well. And then we should also have them by our high school. So I'm going to put 1 right here, and I'm going to put 1 right there. Cool, cool, cool. And I believe pretty much everywhere we have our lines coming this way. So I think what we'll do is we'll have our bus stops a little bit more closer to our downtown, like right there, because these ones aren't close to it. So I'd like, if you're getting on the bus, then you should be able to get off of it in the downtown area is kind of my thought process. So now let's just litter them. Now let's just litter them around. So we'll put 1 over here, 1 there, come up over here. Now let's look. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. I think that looks pretty good. And now let's make our line. And I would rather this come down here for some reason. Don't know why. Just a preference. And now let's do our other side. Cool, cool, cool. So we have our tram that goes around, and then we have our bus as well. Now let's look. So this is still green. Oh, and it wants to show us the European bus stops as well. I don't really care about that, being honest. So I think we should name these really quickly. So I'm going to come into our lines, which is over here, I believe. Yes, perfect. So let's come into our tram first. And we have our tram lines right here in this pinky purple color. Ooh, our cargo routes. Oh, that's super, super cool. I can't wait to get into all that kind of stuff. And let's name these. So the tram line 1, this is our downtown. This looks like a counterclockwise. And then our tram line 2 is going to be downtown downtown clockwise. Perfect. And then our buses, we're gonna pretty much call our buses the same thing. So this will be downtown. This looks like counterclockwise, and then downtown clockwise. Awesome. And they're not seeing any ridership right now, but I think with time, I think this will figure itself out. The next thing that I want to do, because we have our industry over here, I would like to have a bus that kind of picks people up from our train station, comes into our downtown, and also goes over into our industrial area. And this will kind of be like an all-purpose line for right now. And maybe we end up changing things around in the future, but I think that that could be just kind of needed. So we're gonna this is gonna be a little bit of a different line. Instead of having bi-directional, it's going to be solo directional. I don't know if that's the right word, but whatever. So we're gonna put a bus stop here. We're going to put a bus stop here. That way it's near these other bus stops in case you want to get around the city. Then it's gonna come, and I want it to kind of loop around. So let me think. I know for sure I would like a bus stop over here, and this is gonna come around our industrial area. Perfect, just like that. And then, so the idea is that this is gonna come from our downtown. Ah, yes, I remember. So we're gonna put one on this side of the road, and we're gonna come down here. We're gonna delete this guy, and then we're gonna have one more right over here by our tram line. And that way, this bus, from the train station, you can get on the tram line, and you can get on this other bus line as well. That's kind of the idea. So it's gonna start here, and it's gonna come all the way over here. Then it's gonna come right here, and then it's gonna come all the way around here. And I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set a waypoint in this direction, just so that it goes the way that I would like it to. That way it's not going in our like suburb kind of area. So it's gonna come up here, grab all these, and then come back around. This one, the name for this needs to be a little bit different. So this is going to be called our train/industrial line. Perfect. And now this has 3 buses. We'll see how this is for now, but I think that that works well. We're also seeing our usage for our bus lines, our downtown clockwise and counterclockwise. They're pretty good. We have 56 people on this one, which is awesome. Let's actually take a look at this line. This is deactivate line schedule. No, this is both. I just want to look at it. Our tram line is not as busy as I thought it would be, but that's okay. We could maybe lower the amount of trams that are on here, but for now we're gonna leave it. Cool. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to do, because this is an industrial line, we're actually gonna come here and we're gonna change the color to industry color, which is yellow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Then we're gonna come here, and I just want to see. Okay, so we have 12 out of 25 vehicles in use, not bad, and we have 4 out of 10. Cool. So we're chilling. We are chilling right now with those. Cool, cool, cool. We got everything working nicely. We're not seeing crazy ridership over here, but I think that that's okay. The other thing that I wanted to check while we are here is I want to come over. So we have unreliable healthcare coverage, which was true before, but I believe it went down a point, which is kind of nice. So adding this extension on our medical clinic seems to have worked. We now, yeah, I think that that was a really good idea. We're chilling there. The other thing I wanted to look at was how is our traffic looking? Our traffic is up a little bit, which is really, really cool. I want to look at over here. It's not too busy. I believe the busy time was like 9 a.m. in the game. So I guess each 24 hours here is equal to 1 month, which is kind of cool. So I want to see how busy it gets at like 9 a.m. over here. But everywhere else is looking quite nice. It looks like, honestly, this looks a little bit lighter since adding our public transport, which I think is really, really cool. So the next thing that we are going to do, because now we are losing money, we did lower our taxes. So I think we're actually going to raise them up a bit, not to 15%, but to 13%. Our offices, I don't even know. Yeah, we don't have any demand for office, which is crazy because I've seen online people say that like the only demand that they have is office. They keep on placing towers, and for whatever reason, they just like, it's never enough. We don't seem to have that crazy demand, which I guess is a good thing, but a little weird. So we're gonna up our taxes and see how that affects our budget. It seems to be fine. Our main expense is our healthcare, which makes sense because we have 2 medical clinics and one of them is upgraded to the max. And then we have transportation. So if we did want to balance, we could definitely bring down our budget even to 90. I feel like would be fine. There are options to change the ticket price as well. So if we come in here and we grab our bus line, we come into our line details, we can see these are our buses that are moving around. We have 3 vehicles, which we probably honestly don't need. 7 passengers, 0, 1, 6, 0, 1, 4, 0, 4. Yeah, so we probably only need 2 buses, to be honest with you. Yeah, I feel like 2 will be fine. Then we're gonna look and we're gonna grab our other one. We're gonna grab our counterclockwise. We're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna bring this down to 1. Because we only have 30 passengers. And then let's look at our tram. Our tram, we have our our clockwise. This seems to be the only one that's busy. Honestly, we could probably bring this down to 1 as well. And we'll do the same thing for our other line because this one is not busy at all. We'll bring this down to 1. And I'm wondering if that affects our budget. Like if we go to our services, we go to transportation, same amount, which is frustrating because that doesn't really make any sense. You would think that that would change. I guess it is what it is. Okay. All right. So the next thing that we are going to do over here, more than likely the last thing that we're going to do as well, is we have this very high demand for industry. So we're going to extend our little industrial area over here. We're going to bring it down on the other side of this highway. We're going to bring it down over here as well for 2 reasons. One, I think that this could be a very good area for a port. I haven't made a cargo harbor yet, but I think this could be a really good area for a cargo harbor for 2 reasons. One, it's wide open and it's right beside the industrial area. Bim, bam, boom, done. 2, the second reason is it's right beside this rail line right here. And if we look, I was trying to think, like, if we're gonna build a cargo station, where would we put our cargo train terminal? We'd probably put it over here, right? That was kind of my thought process. The only problem is that I also want to put a port somewhere. I'm putting a port, we can't put them both here, it just wouldn't fit. So we'd have to put one of them over here. But if you come into your water, your cargo harbor can be upgraded with a rail connection, which is really, really cool. So this thing is probably more than likely ginormous, but we could put it right here. We could elevate our highway and then have our rail connection right over here, which I think could make for a really cool type of area. Also, because it's right next to our forestry industry right here. So we could have cars or trucks, I guess, literally just come from our forestry industry over into our cargo harbor / rail terminal thingy majig that we got going on. And this could be a really good area for that. So we're not going to develop that just yet, but what we are going to do is we're going to bring in some roads and start laying down some of the infrastructure for that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is we're going to delete these all the way up to about here. Perfect. And then we're going to come into this road, this 4-lane road, and we are going to send this along our rail line. And I'm going to hug the rail line for a few reasons. And we made it to Big Town. Fun. So we got, let's see, we got a bunch more development points, which is awesome. We have a lot more, whatever these things are. I forget what they're called. Permits. And then we got a bunch of money as well. And we got high density. Oh, that's cool. Okay. And oil drilling. That's actually big because we do need to do some oil. But I mentioned that we're bringing this along the edge of our rail line for a few reasons. Mainly just because we'll probably change a lot of this around in the future. And we need the space is kind of what I'm thinking. I would like the space over here for the continuation of our industrial area. So we're gonna use our curved road tool. We're gonna come up to about here and we're gonna bring this in. I'm gonna turn off all of our guidelines because they're giving us problems. And honestly, I'm gonna bring it into about here. Perfect, and then we'll come into our highways and we'll use the magical complex curve mode and we'll connect these up. Cool. Good to go. Now we can come into our medium roads, our 2-lane roads, and we can send this out. So let's think about what we want to do over here. We'll probably have a similar structure to this road. So let's actually send this out, shall we? I'm going to pause the game, delete this, come into our roads, come into our curved road tool, connect these up, and then we're gonna bring a road out here. Perfect. And then I'm realizing I put our bus stop. Oh, it figured itself out. Awesome. Cool. But I will, now we can play the game. And now let's bring this road out. So I think what we're going to do is I wanna make sure we have the maximum zonable land over here. So let's delete everything that I'm doing right now because I don't love it. And let's see. We'll bring this road in here and we'll square this off. And we'll come up over here. And it's very gridded out over here. So we're gonna take these areas where it is a little bit too straight, and we're gonna curve in. And make these roads just a little bit more attractive. But really, I wanted these to be, like, I wanted to start them off from that kind of rigid look so that we knew our general layout that we were gonna have over here. So we can take this out, send this to about here, and then we'll curve in using our freeform tool. Cool, cool, cool. And then on targeted areas, we'll just have roads. Cool, cool, cool. And then along this road right here, I'm actually gonna place a path down so that we don't have any zoning. So I'm gonna turn off all of our nodes snapping because I don't want zoning along this main street for industrial. Because this street is really taking all of the traffic, right? Cool. And then, yeah, we can have zoning along everything else. I just want to make sure that it's, you know, where we want it. And then we're going to pretty much just mass plop all these down. We'll see how our demand reacts to this. Because I also want to look. Workplace availability. Oh, interesting. Our workplace availability, we have a lot. We don't have enough people, actually, which is kind of insane. We have 7,000 workplaces and only 6,300 or 6,400 employees, which actually tells me that we don't even need this. We do have this built, this infrastructure built, which is really good. But yeah, people, like, we don't actually have our, what am I trying to say here? Our unemployment rate. Oh, our unemployment rate is 20%. Actually, that's pretty crazy. That actually doesn't make any sense. So we have 6,800 jobs and we have 62 or 6,300 employed and our unemployment rate is 20%. That's kind of wild, to be honest with you. So our population is way over here. So I guess it would take a minute to kind of come way over here. That makes sense. But we have our bus line now, so that hopefully should help. So yeah, actually, we can totally place down some of these and maybe that should help out a bit. What I will do is I'm going to come into our bus line and we're going to extend our bus line a bit. We're gonna bring it down all the way over here. So we're gonna come into our line, we're gonna grab this, and we're gonna extend this line a bit. Perfect. So now our bus line should be serving our entire industrial area, which I think is a good idea. I mean, you know, it makes sense. Cool, cool, cool. The last thing that we are going to do in this area, just because I'm noticing it right now, and I think that it's going to be very important, is I want this to connect up. So if we come into these roads, we can't really connect up right now. We could cross the train tracks. I don't love that idea just because the amount of traffic that would take is crazy, but this is a giant cul-de-sac and I think that we need to do it. So I'm just gonna this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pause the game. I love pausing the game. I'm gonna pause the game and we're gonna go underground with our railroad. So I'm gonna bring this here, delete this, come into our train line, and we're gonna go underground from here. I'm actually gonna delete this little road here. Perfect. We're gonna go underground and connect these up. So let's see. We'll come down. And I want to go underground so that we don't have a railroad crossing. I think that would be a smart idea. So starting with this railroad here, we're gonna come down -10. And it's giving us this overlapping item, and it's because our border ends here, which is super frustrating. So maybe we extend this a bit, and now can we go underground? No, it's not gonna let us. So unfortunately, we have to buy this tile, which is super frustrating. Mind you, now we can have a little bit more of a realistic slope that will actually make a little bit of sense to go underground. So I think a -4 makes sense, and then we'll go down a bit more to a -3. Perfect, and then we'll come back up. we'll do a +3, and then we should be able to straighten out. And this is a -7. So I think we actually delete some more of this because we want this to be a little bit more realistic. -4.6. That's pretty steep, but I think it's doable. And now we can have this road kind of come in here and there's no crossing, which is really what I wanted to do and why we did this whole thing. Cool, cool, cool. This road just kind of ends, which is funny. So let's delete it there. But now we got something going on over here. We have something going on. We can have this road continue on, which I think is kind of cool. We can have this kind of come in here as well. Let's do that for now. I think that makes, actually, no, I don't like what I just did. So we're going to continue this on. And we're going to connect this up. And we'll leave that there for now, and we'll continue this road at a later date. For now, I think that that's okay. But guys, that's where we're going to leave it. We're going to press play because I keep on messing things up. It's 3 a.m. right now, which means that our traffic is probably not crazy busy. Let's go look at it. Yeah, our traffic flow seems to be pretty good. Our tram line's working well. Let's see how our ridership's doing. So we're serving 1,000 people a month on our buses. We're serving 1,300 on our trains. We're serving more people on our trains now, and we're serving 1,100 with our trams, which is amazing. Right now they have no people, but it's also 3 a.m., so that makes sense. Which means that it will probably get pretty busy as the day goes on. The last thing that we're going to do is I'm going to come in here. We still see a crazy demand for our industry, which is insane. So we're actually going to tax them more. We're going to go up to 16%. Also, I'm hoping that this kind of balances out our budget a little bit. We are getting complaints for high taxes, but honestly, so be it. You know, I don't know why we have such a crazy demand for industry. I feel like we really don't need it to be that high. Perfect. Just wanted to finish out that industry area. And guys, that is where we're going to leave it. We have a car crash in front of our high school. Whoa, dude, look at the car. It went all the way into the high school. I wonder if that killed anyone. Hopefully not. Guys, that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, like the video. If you love the video and you're not subscribed, what are you doing, man? Subscribe down below. Let me know in the comment section what you think of our train line and our transportation lines. We are seeing awesome ridership. Oh my God, we're seeing 1,000 people a month, 1,400 or 1,500 a month on our trams, 1,400 on our buses, almost 1,400 on our trains as well. This is literally up our train line as well, which I think is really, really cool. That is amazing. Absolutely, absolutely love to see it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace out.